friends, welcome to the next lecture of the chapter electricity. Welcome to interactive classes. We have already made a first video on electricity, the basic concepts of electricity. Then it comes to voltage, it comes to potential difference and everything which is in the basic introductions. So today we will study Ohm's law and resistance, and if possible we will also do some numericals on it. So let's start the video. Okay, let me clear this board off. So Ohm's law. Ohm's law is very simple, but it is very important. Ohm's law is very useful to find out the relation between voltage, current and resistance. This is the voltage, current and resistance. Ohm's law is very important, particularly for the school students, and also if someone is pursuing higher degrees in physics or science, then also it is very important. So let's write the definition of Ohm's law at first. What is Ohm's law? Ohm's law states the voltage across the terminals of a conductor, the voltage across the terminals of a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through the circuit. The voltage across the terminals of a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through the circuit. That means mathematically we can write as V proportional to I. This is the mathematical expression. V proportional to I. Okay, let me get into the details of it. If you need the definition, you can pause the video and note it down. And also, if you haven't watched the first lecture, you can find it on our channel. The first lecture is very important to know the basics of the chapter. So let's come to the point. According to Ohm's law, V is proportional to I. The main important part of this expression is this occurs only at constant temperature. That means temperature T stands for temperature. Temperature is always constant. This is the condition for Ohm's law to be valid. If temperature is variable or not constant, then this expression is invalid. So okay, let me get into details. V proportional to current, that is potential difference proportional to the current. Now if we remove this proportionality sign and replace it with a equal to, then there comes a proportionality constant R. This R is proportionality constant. R is the proportionality constant. Now we see this R acts as a resistance. R is the resistance. So what is the physical importance of R? R is the property of the conductor by which it opposes the flow of the current through the conductor. Suppose this is a conductor and current I is flowing through this. So if the resistance of this conductor is R, then it will oppose the current flow through it. Okay. So this is the main formula of Ohm's law is V is equals to IR. This is a very important formula. Please note it down. There are a lot of numerical problems which can be solved by just using this formula only. This is a very important formula I am telling you. So now if we plot the graph between the voltage and current flowing through the circuit, this is the current I, voltage V. It varies like this. This is a straight line. Let me draw it more clearly. It varies like this linearly. But also, as I have told you, this is only valid when temperature T is constant. When the temperature is constant, only then this graph and this formula is valid. I hope you have understood this. If you haven't understood this, you can rewind the video and play it again. I hope there will be no problem. And if there's any doubt or any queries, you can just mention us in the comment box. We will try our best to resolve your queries. Our next topic is okay. So I forgot one thing. Resistance. The units of resistance. The SI unit of resistance is ohm. This is the Greek symbol for ohm, and we write it as OHM, ohm. From Ohm's law, we get this ohm. Okay. Now, from Ohm's law, we have V is equals to IR. The unit of voltage is V, that is volt. For current, we have ampere, 1 ampere. For resistance, we have 1 ohm. So 1 ohm is equals to 1 volt by 1 ampere. So the resistance in the conductor is said to be 1 ohm when 1 ampere of current is flowing through the circuit and the potential difference between the ends of the terminal is 1 volt. Okay, so this is clear, I think. Let's come to the next part. We have resistivity. We have resistivity. Resistivity. So what is resistivity basically? So experimentally it is seen that the resistance of a conductor R is directly proportional to the length of the conductor L and is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. So suppose if this is a conductor, okay, so if this is a conductor and this is L means the length of the conductor and this part is the area of cross section A. So what happens is, if you increase the area of the conductor, that means if a current is flowing through a wire and we increase the radius or diameter of the wire, the area of the cross section increases. So the more area will increase, resistance will decrease. Similarly, if we increase the length of the wire or the conductor, the resistance increases. So what happens is, if we combine these two relations, if we combine these two relations 1 and 2, from 1 and 2 we get R proportional to L by A. Okay, combining these two we get this. Now let's remove the proportionality sign. We get this. This is basically known as a rho, RHO rho. Rho is a constant of proportionality and is termed as resistivity of the circuit, of the conductor. Resistivity. I think now it is clear what is resistivity and what is resistance. Now the next topic is, the SI unit of resistivity is SI unit of resistivity is, that is basically ohm per meter. Ohm meter, or also it is known as ohm meter or mho. Image. This is also known as mho. Okay. Sorry. I'm extremely sorry. This is not mho. This is something else. This is resistance meter. That means we have R is equals to rho L by A. So rho is equals to R A by L. So R means ohm, and area is basically length square, that is, and this is L. So if we cancel this, unit of length is meter and resistance is M. This ohm meter is the SI unit of rho, means 1. Okay, I think this is clear now. SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Okay, now we will study the various combinations of resistors. There are basically two combinations possible with resistance, that is combinations of resistances. Combination of resistances. There are two combinations. One is parallel and another one is series. Okay. First we will deal with the series resistance, series combination. Series combination. In series combination, the resistances are joined end to end. The resistances are joined end to end, that is R1, R2, R3, with the three resistances that are joined like this. This is the X terminal, this is the Y terminal, and is connected to a battery cell. And here is a key. So this is the series combination of the resistances. If the voltage is V and current flowing through the circuit is I, so then the expression will be, okay, let me tell you, in series combination the voltage across the resistances vary, but the current remains the same. That means I current will flow through R1, I current will flow through R2, I current will flow through R3. So therefore current remains same, that is as the voltage is divided, so let the voltage across this one is be V1, this one V2, and this one V3. So V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. From Ohm's law, we very easily can write V is equals to IR. This R is equivalent resistance. That means the total resistance. I'm writing here R equivalent is equals to I R1 plus I R2 plus I R3, and we can write R equivalent is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So this is the expression for the equivalent resistance in a series combination. So if there are more resistances, it will just be addition. R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4 plus then like this. Okay. The next combination is parallel combination. Parallel combination. In parallel combinations, the resistances are connected in this fashion. The resistances are connected in this fashion. That means all the ends are connected together, all the other ends are connected together like this. Okay. So if the voltage flowing through the circuit is V and the current is I, so this is the complete parallel combination of three resistances. Okay. Now in parallel combination, what happens is the voltage across the resistances remains the same. That is V is constant, but the current I gets divided into these three channels. That means the current through this R is I1, through this is I2, and through this is R3. So I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3. From Ohm's law, we can write it V by R is R equivalent. That means the total parallel combination of these three resistances. This is V by R1, V by R2, and V by R3. If there are more resistances in the connection, you can just add on. Now V gets cancelled from both the sides, and we get R equivalent is equals to 1 by R equivalent is equals to 1 by R1, 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So this is the expression for the equivalent resistance. Okay, equivalent resistance of parallel combinations. So okay, now let's do two basic numericals. One related to Ohm's law and one related to the circuit combinations. Okay, very fast we will do the numericals. I don't want to extend the length of the video. Okay, come on. So the question is, how much current will an electric bulb draw from a 220 volt source if the resistance of the bulb filament is 1200 ohm? This is the first question. That means the first part, and the second part is how much current will an electric heater coil from a 220 volt source will draw if the resistance of the coil is 100 ohm. So question number 1, first part is the voltage is given as 220 volt, the resistance is 1200 ohm. We need to find the current through the circuit. Okay, so very easily applying Ohm's law, V is equals to IR. Okay, 220 I we have like this, and R given 1200 volt. So if we keep the current on the other side, so we get 220 by 1200, that is basically 0.18 ampere. We just divide this 220 by 1200, you get the current as 0.18 ampere. So see, this is a very simple mathematics, but if we know the Ohm's law, we can do very easily. The next part is voltage given 220 volt. Voltage is 220. Distance is 100 ohm. See. Now, from Ohm's law, we need to find the current. Current has been asked to find out. So we have V is equals to IR. Okay. V is equals to 220 volt. Current we need to find out, and we have resistance as 100. So 220 by 100. That means I is equals to 2.2 ampere. So see how simply we have done this numerical problem. Now the resistance. Now we come to the second question. This is the parallel combination numerical. The parallel combination is comparatively the tougher one between the series and parallel combination. So I will show you the parallel combination so you can get do the series combination of your own. The circuit looks like this. The circuit looks like this. These are the three resistances. This is a voltmeter. Here's a switch and here's an ammeter to measure the current. Okay. Fine. Now this resistance R1 is equals to 5 ohm. This resistance R2 is equals to 10 ohm. R3 is equals to 30 ohm. The voltage is 12 volt. So what has been asked? It has been asked the current. What is the current through each resistance? Total current, and in the second part is total current in the circuit. The third part is total resistance. Total resistance means the equivalent resistance, as we have done. So the current through each resistance. So as I have told you, in parallel combination, the current gets divided. That means if I is flowing, the current gets divided I1, I2, I3. So V is equals to I1, R1, voltage remains the same. For the first resistance we have V is equals to 12, I1 we need to find out, R1 we have 5. So I1 divide 12 by 5, we get 2.4 ampere. This is the current flowing through the first arm. Second arm is V is equals to I2 R2. Voltage remains the constant. 12 current I2 we need to find out, and resistance we have 10 ohm. So I2 is basically 12 by 10, that is 1.2 ampere. Now I am coming to this part. V is equals to again I3 R3. Voltage remains the same, that is 12, and we can see this voltage remains 12. I3 we need to find out the resistance is 30. So I3 12 by 30, that is 0.4 ampere. So I hope this part is clear. If you have any query, just let us know in the comments. Okay. Now the second part. Now the second part says what is the total current flowing in the circuit. That means we have to find out I. So I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3. For parallel connection, we have already found out the values of I1, I2 and I3. So the values are, first one is 2.4, second one is 1.2 and the third one is 0.4. If we add all these, we get 4 ampere. That means the total current flowing in the circuit is 4 ampere. Now the equivalent resistance, that means the total resistance in the circuit. So from the formula of, or the expression of parallel combination, we have this relation R3. We put down the values here: 5, 1 by 10, 1 by 30, 1 R equivalent. So what we get is, we get 1 by R equivalent is equals to 1 by 3, isn't it? Yes, 1 by 3. So if we do the reciprocal, we get R equivalent is equals to 3 ohm. So see how simply we have done these numerical problems. So also remember, in parallel combination, in parallel combination, the net resistance or the equivalent resistance of the circuit is lower than the individual resistances. Okay, see here 5 ohm, 10 ohm, 30 ohm, and you get the equivalent resistance as 3 ohm. That means the total resistance of the circuit decreases in parallel combination, whereas in series combination the total resistance increases. Okay, so I hope you have liked the video and you have understood what we are trying to convey you. If you like the video, put a thumbs up, also share among your friends and family, and subscribe the channel to support us. Thank you very much.